Hey, what's up guys? This is Jared here with Texas Tough Customs, and this is going to be our first episode of Tech Talk. And today we're going to be talking about the Pioneer 1000 and tire size. One of the biggest questions I get asked all the time is what tire size can we run on a stock Pioneer, or a Pioneer with a Super ATV lift, or a Pioneer with your TTC lift, or whatever the case may be. And today we're going to go through those options and let you know exactly what tire sizes you can run and what will clear what, and all of the ins and outs involved in all of that. So one of the reasons I wanted to make this video is because when you go ask this question online, you get all kind of different answers. And I just wanted to clarify some of the details that go into the answers that you get. The biggest thing is that not all tires are made the same. Some tires run true to size and some tires do not run true to size. So when you get someone saying that they're running 30s on stock suspension with zero rub, and you get another guy saying I'm running 28s and they slightly rub, this is why. Because not all tires are made the same. So stock Pioneers come with the 27-inch tires. And typically on stock suspension, the largest tire you can run, if it's a true size tire, is going to be a 28-inch tire. Sometimes you can get away with 29s, but typically they're going to start rubbing when you turn and articulate. And when it rubs, it's typically going to rub right here, right in that area right there. And it's because the front wheels on the Pioneer are too close to the firewall. And in order to run larger tires, you need forward arms. One of the biggest misconceptions is that you can run a cheap bracket lift and that's going to allow you to run larger tires. That's just not true. A bracket lift does nothing but raise your center of gravity, make your suspension super stiff, and throw off your camber. A bracket lift won't get you any closer to running larger tires. Another misconception is that you can bolt on portals to your stock suspension and run larger tires. Typically you can run up to about a 30-inch tire with 4 or 6-inch portals on your stock suspension, but that's about it. One of the reasons is because the portals don't do much to move the front wheels forward and get them away from the firewall. They also make it wider and increase your scrub radius, also increasing the chances that when you turn the wheel, the tires are going to rub into the fender well. So the best solution to running larger tires on a Honda Pioneer 1000 is to run a set of forward arms. Now there's a handful of options out there. You got Super ATV, CFAB, High Lifter, and of course our Texas Tough Customs arms. And our Texas Tough Customs arms push the front wheels forward more than any other option out there and allow you to run larger tires with zero rub. Now if you are running Super ATV, High Lifter, CFAB, one of those sets of arms, typically the biggest tire you can run is about a 30. And that is a true size tire. Remember, you'll get some guys saying they're running 32s with zero rub, but typically a true size 30 is about the max you can run on any of those kits before it starts rubbing the firewall like we talked about. Now, if you're running a set of our Texas Tough Customs 3-inch arms, then you can run a true size 32 and even some true size 33s with our 3-inch kit with zero rub in any situation. Now before we start talking about adding portals, let's talk about the 6-inch lift options that are available as well. Both Super ATV and Texas Tough Customs offer a 6-inch kit that allows you to run a little bit larger tire as well. Now on the Super ATV 6-inch kit, their website says that you can run up to about a 31-inch tire. And that's true in most cases, although if you get some 32s that run a little small, you can run those as well. Now the Texas Tough Customs 6-inch kit is actually a long travel kit, and it actually does increase the wheel travel and increase the suspension articulation and drastically increases the ride quality. And with the Texas Tough Customs 6-inch long travel kit, you can run 35-inch tires with zero issues, zero rub, and you're all good. So let's talk about portals. Portals are these gearboxes here that bolt onto your arms and they take the place of your stock hub assembly. They come in 4, 6, and 8-inch lift sizes. They add 4 inches of width to each side of your machine, and they come in a variety of different gear reductions, which we'll be talking about in a different episode. Now, if you're running stock suspension and you bolt on 4-inch or 6-inch portals to your stock suspension, the biggest tire you're going to be able to run is about a 30 before you start rubbing in the front. Now, if you're running forward offset arms, say you're running Super ATV arms, you can get about a 32 under there with 4-inch or 6-inch portals. It doesn't, the 4 or 6 doesn't really make that big of a difference, but you're going to be able to run about a 32. Now, if you're running our Texas Tough Customs 3-inch kit and you're running 4-inch portals, you can run up to about a 35. If you run our Texas Tough Customs 3-inch kit with 6-inch portals, then you can clear a 40. If you're running one of the 6-inch lift options that we talked about earlier, then you'll have slightly larger tire options available to you. If you're running the Super ATV 6-inch kit and you put 4-inch portals on it, you can run about a 33 or so. If you run the 6-inch portals on the Super ATV 6-inch kit, you'll be able to run somewhere around a 35 or so. Now, if you're running our Texas Tough Customs long travel kit and you put 4-inch portals on it, you can clear a 40. That's what's behind us, our 6-inch long travel kit with 4-inch portals on 40-inch tires, and we clear with 0 rub. Now, if you're running our Texas Tough Customs 6-inch long travel kit with 6-inch portals, you can run up to somewhere around a 44-inch tire. Now, if you want to go even bigger and you want to put 8-inch portals on there, I highly recommend doing one of our XL kits. That's exactly what it's built for. Just because the 8-inch portals, they put a lot more stress on all of the suspension components, and our XL kits are literally designed for that. Now, if you want to put 8-inch portals with our 6-inch kit, then you can run somewhere around a 48, 49. I do have one guy on 50s, but I believe he rubs a little bit. Okay, so just to be clear, the information in this video is not an end-all be-all. It's just meant to be a guide to help guys get to where they want to be, lift size, tire size. You're going to find plenty of guys out there saying that they're running a larger tire with X, Y, and Z set up than we said in this guide, and they probably are. But this guide's meant to let you know what will and won't rub. You can definitely run larger tires with all these setups that we talked about, but you're going to have some rub. And there are some other options that you can take to minimize the amount of rub that you have. There's a floorboard mod that some company makes where you cut the floorboards out and put a metal piece in. Some guys just literally cut the floorboard out, or they heat it up with a heat gun. But typically you're going to have some rubbing right around the floorboard, and that's really the problem with all of them. But moving forward, like I said, can you run larger tires than what we've said with some of these kits? Absolutely, but you're going to deal with a little bit of rub. And some guys are okay with a little bit of rub if it means that they can run a little bit larger tire. But I just want to be clear with what we're saying here. We're not saying that this is the end-all be-all. It's just a good starting point for guys that are looking to run a larger tire, and it lets you know what all it takes, involving portals and forward arms and all that stuff. Thanks for checking out this first episode of Tech Talk with Texas Tough Customs. If you liked what you saw, please like, subscribe, and stay tuned for future episodes. We'll be talking about tunes, gear reductions, and a whole lot of other stuff that have to do with pioneers and talents. We'll see you soon.